Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and possibly greatest episode of Evil. And this episode might be the best one of this whole season, if not one of the best ones of this series in general. I mean, wow, holy shit, what an episode this was. Now, before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you're not caught up on Evil by the latest episode, which I believe is episode, oh my god, is it 10? Yeah, I think it's episode 10 of season 4. You do not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be going into spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. So I missed out on this episode on Thursday night because I was at the movies watching Deadpool and Wolverine, which I loved. And I also uploaded that film review here, so you should be able to find it under my recent videos. And then I was busy covering Comic-Con coverage yesterday, and so I didn't have a chance to watch it until now. So now that I have, I'm going to share my thoughts with you guys. Holy shit, what an episode. I mean, it was exciting, it was intense, just with the being set to the backdrop of a raging massive storm / hurricane. And then we had multiple awesome creepy demons in it, and like the faceless man that Sister Andrea confronted in the backyard. And of course, Leland being as creepy as ever. It didn't surprise me at all that he was able to turn the tables on David with his own remote viewing. And of course, we got some interesting backstory. We already knew about his real name being Jake Perry, being in a high school marching band, and being the dork in high school. That stuff we all knew. We just got to see some flashbacks of it, which was quite troubling for Leland, but entertaining for us. But the stuff we didn't know is that apparently he was once part of the entity or a friend of the Vatican and was trained in the same way that David is being trained right now. So, of course, he's extremely powerful and could easily turn the remote viewing on David. And he would have killed him, too, if it hadn't been for Ben's idea of blasting the marching band music and also Sister Andrea stopping David from killing himself with the knife. So, wow, what an episode. And then I do believe Cheryl would have really killed Leland. Like, I really thought this would have been the end of Leland if she was about to slit his throat, until that demon saved him and knocked Cheryl out. And then it sounds like from the implications in the hospital, they threw her out of an apartment, possibly Leland's apartment, onto the street. And, her body was basically found broken and whatnot. And so that's ultimately what led to her dying. And apparently we can now say goodbye to Cheryl. I'm honestly not that surprised to see Cheryl go. I thought she'd go out more in a self-sacrificing way to save Kristen and her family. I guess she kind of did in a way by attempting to poison and finally finish Leland off with a throat slice. But even though she kind of failed in that regard, she obviously left a very big gift for Kristen in the form of that flash drive. Now, what was entirely on there besides a video of her in Leland's apartment, we don't know. But whatever it was got Leland arrested. Well, I'm assuming whatever was on that flash drive got Leland arrested, unless he was arrested for some other reason. And I guess Leslie was also taken into custody, which is why they're dumping baby Timothy on Kristen's doorstop. Now, is this part of Leland's overall plan to have Kristen raise him to indeed become the Antichrist, or is his plan completely backfiring? Because it feels like his whole world is crumbling down, thanks mostly to the efforts of Cheryl. But again, with only a few episodes remaining this season and in this series overall, only time will tell. But man, what an episode this was. It had a little bit of everything. It had some great character scenes. It had some interesting reveals. It had spooky demons. It had an epic backdrop of a massive raging storm and hurricane outside. I mean, what an episode. Everybody in this episode got a little highlight or standout moment. And it was just a fantastic watch. And I'm sorry to see Cheryl go, but again, it wasn't that surprising. I guess I just assumed it'd be more of a self-sacrificing move, but I guess this kind of was in her own way. But we can say goodbye to Cheryl now. And a big thank you to Kristen Lady for a fantastic performance throughout this whole series as well too. So she really nailed it in this role, and she did a fantastic job. And I hope she knows how appreciated and cherished she is by the fan base of this show. So this was just, wow, so much to unload in one episode, and we only have 4 episodes left. So I wonder if anything, if indeed that flash drive that Cheryl gave Kristen is this thing that got Leland ultimately arrested, or was it something or somebody else? Hopefully we'll find out in the next episode. But Kristen's reaction was also kind of surprising, because at first I thought, wait, are the cops coming to arrest her too? But she didn't do anything. And then it was like, oh, they're dumping the baby on her. Okay, that makes sense. Then it all made sense to me. It became clear. But man, what an episode. I mean, that was fantastic, and that was easily one of the best episodes this season, if not of the series in general. And you can really feel like the net is closing in on Leland, and it's closing in on the rest of our characters as things I believe are truly coming to a close as the way it properly should be, since this is sadly the final season. So how things are going to wrap up in the next 4 episodes, I don't know, but I'm very excited to see how it all comes to hopefully a satisfying conclusion. So what did you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Evil drops new episodes every Thursday on Paramount Plus. Have a good one, everyone. And of course, until next time, may the force be with you.